What's up, YouTube? I wanted to start this YouTube channel. Let me just get this out the way first. Y'all gotta excuse me because I'm sitting in my car and I'm on my lunch break. But I wanted to start this YouTube channel for women, and I also wanted to start this YouTube channel for my son. Today is his birthday. He just made 6. And I'm going to try not to cry on this YouTube video because what I'm about to talk about is very painful. It really is. It's very painful for any parent, men included. So, I'm going to just get started. So, 3 years ago, Easter Sunday, well, let me go back. I was married to a guy, and we had a child. I left. Tried to work it out with him. Tried to work out my marriage. Found out he was seeing other women. He would never admit it, but not only was he seeing other women, but he was denying my son. And if you all want to know his name and know if what I'm telling you is true, you can go on his Facebook page. His name is Rodney Griffin. And so anyway, I moved to Mississippi. I made a move to Mississippi from Chicago. And he wanted to see his son. And I said, okay, you can come see your son. Not knowing what was fin to take place. All because I didn't want to be with this man. So when he came to Mississippi, he stayed overnight. And we talked and everything. And by me just moving to Mississippi, we were still trying to work things out. Watch what I tell y'all, ladies, because this is the mind games that men be playing. And also, fellas, watch what I'm finna say, because this is the mind games that women also play. It don't make a difference what gender you are. Listen to what I'm finna say. So, he stayed overnight. Oh, I'm willing to help you. I know you had to sell everything, basically, that you had to move down here, blah, blah, blah. So, we was looking at cars. He was going to help me get a car. It was my oldest daughter's graduation. He said that he wanted to spend time with his son. He was going to take him to Texas for the weekend and bring him back. Well, that weekend, I went to Chicago, and I watched my oldest daughter walk across the stage. On my way home, I asked him, what time are you dropping Rodney off? That's my son, Rodney. And he goes, I'm not bringing him back. And so instantly, I'm on the bus. I'm frustrated. I'm crying. I call the police. First stop, I call the police. The police tell me they can't do anything until I get back to Mississippi. Okay. I arrive in Mississippi the next morning, and the first thing I do instantly, I haven't slept. I haven't slept now in almost 24 hours at this point. And I go to the police station. In the state of Mississippi, Jackson Police Department tells me, well, you're not a resident because you haven't lived here for 6 months. So we can't file a report. So I proceed to ask for the chief of police. And when I talk to the chief of police, he tells me that there's nothing that he can do. Okay? Because I'm not a resident, considering that I haven't lived here in 6 months. So my question to the police was, well, if I was visiting, because I do have family that stays in Mississippi. And I told him, I asked him, I said, well, if I was visiting and my child's father did this, would you still not take a police report because I'm visiting? Or would you do your job? And he goes, well, it's complicated. And he really can't explain to me what's so complicated about what I'm saying. So April goes by. Now, mind you, I moved here in February. February, March, April. That's 3 months, right? So my son was taken Easter Sunday. Okay. So April goes by. May goes by. July goes by. Now here it is, it's July. Now I've been here 6 months. Now I'm a resident. During the 3 months that I was waiting to become a resident, I'm calling attorneys, I'm calling Chicago, like trying to find out what, if anything, I can do. Chicago tell me that they can't pick it up because I moved from Illinois to Mississippi. Mississippi is telling me that they can't pick it up because I haven't been a resident for 6 months. Listen to what I'm telling y'all. So by this time, I go back to the police station. It's 6 months. I'm six months in now, living in Mississippi, and I'm 3 months without my son. So I go to the police station again, and they tell me, well, we can't file a report still. Why? This is my question. Why? Because at this point, I'm here, but I'm not here. I'm here as a mother, but my mind, mentally, I'm not here because now I'm frustrated as a parent because my child is not home. My child hasn't been home in 3 months. My youngest child and my only son is not home, and he's 4 at this point. So they tell me that they can't file a report. So I leave the police station and I go to City Hall and I ask to speak with the mayor. The mayor of Jackson, Mississippi can't see me. He doesn't have time to see me. That's what the aides in City Hall told me. He doesn't have time to see you. This is a police matter and you have to go back to the police station. I go, ma'am, I've been to the police station. I've been to the police station since April. So finally, after raising hell, they sent an officer out to where I'm staying. And they take a report. But it's not a kidnapping report or none of that. It is a domestic report. Now, during all this time, I'm calling Romeo. I'm calling everybody in his family. Romeo would not let me speak to my son. I don't have no address on my son. He's threatening me. He told me if I come to Texas that I wasn't going to make it back home. Listen to what I'm telling y'all. So I found a number on his oldest daughter. I called. She didn't answer. I text her phone. And her text message back to me was, "You're never going to see your son again. We're going to tell him that you're dead." And that was it. Instantly, I'm furious. If you all want to know her name, you could go on her Facebook page. Her name is Candace Griffin. So, she also tells me, "My dad went and filed child support on you. And we know you don't have the money to make it to Texas. So, you'll be put on child support." No response. I had no response. Then I get a phone call from the state of Texas, and the state of Texas tells me that there has been charges filed against you saying that your son has been sexually abused. I, at this point, because I know the type of person that he is and the type of people that he come from. So at this point, I'm on the phone with the lady and I said, well, what did you find? Because now not only am I pissed, but remember, I'm a mother of 5, a single mother of 5. And I have 4 other children I'm worrying about, plus my son. So she said, well, we didn't find nothing. I said, well, who filed this with you all? And guess who name they said? Romel. So I told CPS, I said, well, you all need to check his home. I said, because Romel has been known to get into bed with his underage daughter. Well, she was underage at the time that we were married. But he's been known to get into the bed with his underage daughter at the time. She's sleeping in her bra and panties, and he's in his boxers. And he would get in the bed with her. So, surprise, here I am in Texas on my court date. Judge Cato of San Antonio, Texas, child support, tells me, without looking at the police report, without looking at none of my paperwork, not looking at nothing, Judge Cato looks at everything that Romel has, which was absolutely nothing but a picture of me holding a pistol. Which, by the way, the gun that I was holding was Romel's. Let's not get that twisted. The gun that I was holding, they took a picture of me and they put it on Facebook. The gun that I was holding belonged to Romel. So he printed out that picture and he showed it to Judge Cato, and he told Judge Cato, well, she has a background. She's a felon. Absolutely true. But let's not mistake my background for my parenting. Okay. Yes, I do have a felony. I dated a man who basically took care of me. Had I known that he was taking care of me with someone else's money, I wouldn't have let him take care of me. But that's neither here nor there, because you learn from your mistakes. Mind you, I haven't been in trouble going on 10 years now. 10. Hold 2 hands. 10. So, no, he tells Judge Cato this, and then he shows him a picture of me holding his weapon. And the judge, without looking at any paperwork, without being, what is the word I'm looking for? The judge basically told me, without being transparent to anything that was going on, he goes, well, I'm going to give you all joint custody, and the child is going to stay in Texas. I flipped out. I'm not going to lie. I flipped out. And I told the judge to his face, the only reason why you're doing this is because you're going off of your emotions. You don't know me. Because the judge said, and I quote, Judge Cato said, I don't trust you. You don't know me to trust me. That is what I told the judge. You don't know me to trust me. And your judgment as a judge is not supposed to be based on your feelings. It's supposed to be based on the facts. Let's get to the facts. Fact number 1, I have raised Rodney since Rodney has come out of the womb. Fact number 1. Fact number 2, Romel has not done anything for Rodney since Rodney has come out of the womb. Romel wasn't even there at the hospital when Rodney came out the womb. The only reason why his name was on the birth certificate is because we are married. And in the state of Illinois, when you are married to a person, the father's name automatically goes on the birth certificate. Had it been left up to me, listen, women, had it been left up to me, his name would not have been on the birth certificate. Rodney's last name would not be Griffin. It would have been Hall, which is my maiden name. So, with that being said, that's one mistake. That's one mistake. Because me and Romel was already separated when I had my son. So now, at this point, I'm frustrated. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I blew up. I basically threatened the judge and Romel in front of everybody. That was my mistake. I messed up. But I'm a parent and I'm frustrated. So, they kicked us out. They kicked me and my daughters out of the courthouse because my daughters are frustrated as well. So they kicked us out the courthouse. I had to calm myself. So for the past 3 years since this has happened, I have been fighting to get my son. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where it gets complicated. Because I'm not from Mississippi, I can get no help from Mississippi. Because my son was not born in Mississippi, Mississippi can't help me. And because I don't live in the state of Illinois anymore, Illinois cannot help me. And because the case was in, even though, let me just say this, even though there was an outstanding child support case against Romel in the state of Illinois, because of the child support case that Romel filed against me in the state of Texas, Illinois cannot help me. Mississippi cannot help me. I can only go to Texas. Mind you, I have a daughter in college. I have 2 in high school and 1 in middle school. I'm sorry about the cigarette, y'all. I'm starting to get emotional, and again, I'm trying not to cry. So, I'm trying to calm my nerves. No, the state of Illinois and Mississippi cannot help me. So, at this point, I have to go back to Texas. I've been calling Texas for 3 years. 3 years. And surprisingly, no one in the state of Texas can help me because you can't even do anything. Ladies and gentlemen, if you decide to move from Ohio, Chicago, any place up north and move south, take care of all your business up north before you move south, because the southern states in the United States are just that. Don't think because it's 2019 that the South has changed, because it hasn't. They do not believe in divorce. I am still trying to get my divorce from Romel. I took divorce papers to the court hearing, and the judge would not even let him sign them. Oh, let me just tell y'all this. Romel has a girlfriend. Now, they gave my son to Romel. Listen to what I'm saying. They gave my son to Romel. Romel is not with my son. Let me just put that out there. Romel is not with my son. Romel lives in New Orleans, from what I'm hearing. Allegedly living in New Orleans with his fiance And he left my son, his son, he left our son in Texas with his oldest daughter. And her fiance and her little sister, who just had a baby with her fiance's cousin. This is what they're raising my son around. Mind you, these are 4 young adults. They smoking weed, they drinking, they're not responsible. And that's who he left my son with, to allegedly move to New Orleans with his new fiance. Which, by the way, I know Romel is a pathological liar. And for those who don't know what pathological liar is, meaning that Romel will lie about the color of the sun. Romel will tell you a lie. And I don't know how many people have heard this saying, but a lie don't care who tell it. Romel is that person. Romel will lie to you about his whole life, because he did it to me. He told me that he was supposed to play professional football and he didn't make it because he got shot. Romel never been shot. Romel will tell you that he was in a gang. Romel was never in a gang. Romel will tell you anything to make himself look good because he thinks that's what's cool, and it's not cool. None of that is cool. There's nothing cool about being shot. There's nothing cool about being in the gang. But to Romel, almost at 50 years old, if not 50 already, this is what he thinks is cool to attract women. So he basically, he said he did this, he said he did that. Romel has not did anything. He never has. Romel is the type of man that don't like to pay bills. Ladies, listen to what I'm saying, because I'm describing to you what type of man not to choose. So when you see a man who supposedly is single and raising his children, ask yourself why. I have always been the type of woman to tell other women, let that child see his or her father, because that is not your dad. That's their dad. And not only did I preach that to other females, but I practice it. So me practicing what I preach cost me my child. Do you know how hurtful that makes me feel? And to know that I've never done anything wrong to this man. And I haven't seen my son in 3 years now. My son's birthday is today. He just made 6. The last time I saw my son was right before his birthday. He was 3. And my son is 6 now. So what I'm saying to you all, because I don't want this video to run long, but what I'm saying to you all is, be careful who you lay down with. And ladies, me telling other females to let the child see their father, now that I'm in this predicament, my whole mind frame has changed. I would not even trust my other children to go see their dad without me. That's the mind frame I'm in, because now I don't trust men, period. And I have a fiance who I love to death, but I can't trust him because of this situation. So I want to share my story with you all. This is why I'm telling you the story, because the purpose of this video is to find out what is it now that I can do. Because I know everyone is going to tell me, oh, you need a lawyer, you need a lawyer, you need a lawyer. That's fine. I understand that I need a lawyer. But again, I have 4 other children. and I have bills, and I have rent, and I have to keep a place over their head, because if I don't, then they will wind up in the system. So when you're single, a single parent, what do you do? That is the purpose of this YouTube video. What do you do? And I only want to put my story out there because I want someone in the news media to pick it up and let me know. Put the story out there. Put the story out there. Put it out there. How the state does not, these judges do not do their job. The state, the police, all the way down, do not do their job. And they leave working mothers like us, or working fathers like us, in this predicament. Please, I'm just trying to find out, what is it that I can do? What is it that I can do? Because at this point, I don't know. I've tried everything. I've tried absolutely everything. So I'm open to any suggestions that anyone has, or if you've been through this situation, or if you're going through this situation. I'm open to comments. Please do not leave no stupid derogatory comments, because that will get you reported. I'm just gonna let y'all know. So just let me know what I can do. All help would be appreciated. And with that being said, I have to get back to work. So, peace.